Hi everyone, this is Agnes and I'm going to read you a viewer's question today from Alexandra. Hi Agnes, I've been a long time follower of yours and since 2018 your content has truly changed my life. In fact, it's a great part of my life. Your teachings had originally helped me to attract back my specific person. But of course, I wasn't able to maintain my self-love or view on relationships, and he abandoned me quickly. I took a break from manifesting to focus on work and grad studies, but I have recently found myself to focusing on how to manifest my person again. For me, you are the best teacher out of all the manifestation coaches on YouTube. I found that self-love is just more of a natural state that I want to be in. Anyways, I recently watched your YouTube live and I would request that you make a YouTube explaining the process of hitting issues or roadblocks in romantic relationships. Most manifestation coaches have suggested that we don't bring up talking about problems. I think you've also mentioned that here and there, since talking about the problem with our SP or significant other only reaffirms the problem. I feel like someone who loves to communicate in general, and I have found that talking about a problem together helps to bring two people closer. But I've noticed in the past with my person, I just haven't brought up issues, honestly in fear that I will annoy him. Yet I wasn't able to see a change in the issues anyway. I'm afraid that if we are together and there is a problem that I notice or see something that I don't like, I'll ignore addressing it and the problem will continue to occur. But I'm also afraid that with communicating and having talks, it does push people away rather than bring them closer. So my question is, how do you resolve conflicts from a loving place when you are in a relationship with that person? I would also like to hear more things on maintaining self-love or controlling anxiety when the person comes back, if you don't mind. Okay, Alexandra, good question. Yeah, I don't think you just don't talk about anything, but I think it's how you talk about it that's really crucial. So, making sure you don't blame, making sure that you try and diffuse and dismantle the negative emotion you have prior to that, process as much of it as you can, so that when you do have a conversation that you are much more relaxed and just not in that attack mode. You did this to me and you're standing there with your hands on your hips, or you're standing there all hurt and wounded or whatever. Try and clear some of it yourself so that when you do talk about it, you are much more able to do it in a loving way, and the other person doesn't feel that they have to protect or defend themselves from you. So I do think, Alexandra, we do need to communicate to some degree, but not with all that loaded emotion that often comes from childhood, and that's why it bugged you in the first place. However, some things that people do here and now today isn't acceptable, or does, create some conflict, So I do think communicate a little bit, clear as much as you can on your own, and then bring it to the person as best you can in a loving and open way, and just say, look, this isn't really working for me, but I'd really like to work something out that, would perhaps feel a bit better for the both of us. So, and also maybe setting boundaries. I know when people live together, if one person's doing all the housework and the other person's just sitting around like a lazy toad, that's an issue, and you have to be able to communicate that and say, you know what, I'm happy to do 50%, but since we're both working, then I need you to pull your weight, or I need you to help me, or however you want to word it. So yeah, communicate, try to clear your old stuff first, and then work on a solution so that two people are happy. So I hope that's answered your question. Now, you also asked about that you'd like to hear more on maintaining self-love or controlling anxiety. Well, anxiety, I think, having, experienced it myself, is you going over and over things, repetitive, habitual, negative thinking about a subject. So if you change your thinking, then you're much less likely to get anxiety. Now, self-love, again, maintaining it. I wouldn't do it 7 days a week. I think it's too much, but doing self-love 4 to 5 days a week and holding steady at that is good. And then you have 2 to 3 days off a week to just watch a movie or go walk in the park or go swimming or go and play badminton or listen to music or whatever, but you just get your mind right off it. So I think that's important too, to get off it. Now, I think a self-love meditation about 4 days a week is enough, 4 to 5. Affirmations, again, 4 to 5 days a week, about 500 affirmations, takes about 30 minutes. You can cut it in two and do 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night if you like, but just make it so that it fits into your day. A lot of people do it on their way to work and on their way home if they have to travel for more than 15 minutes. It's a great way to use up that time effectively because you can get a little counter, or you can use the apps on your phone to do the counting, and you can say, okay, I'm going to do my top 10 affirmations, I'm going to do 50 of each, there's 500, and I'm going to then relax for the rest of the evening when I get home from work and I'm tired. So yeah, self-love is a lifestyle. I think it is also about eating properly, drinking lots of water, exercising, and, making sure you eat stuff that's made by nature, not coming out of little boxes that's processed. Just try and give your body some stuff that it needs, nourishment. All right? So, and also having conversations around people that are like-minded, your flock, people that are really working on themselves as well, improving their lives, and really looking after themselves. It's much easier to be around those people when you're trying to work on yourself rather than being around people that are drinking, smoking, taking drugs, whatever they're doing to not think and feel, because that's often why we do those things to excess. So, Alexandra, I hope that helps. You sent me this email on the 13th of March 2020, so it was a while ago. Thanks for your question and lots of love, everyone. And I would love to hear those of you that are doing the eye exercises. How you doing? Okay, lots of love. See you in the next YouTube. I'll put the viewers' questions playlist down below.